I can see your face again. Dun 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 dun. I can see your face again out there in here. Welcome back. Glad you made it, boys and girls. I can see your face again. And then there was light after darkness. No one thought that there'd be light. There's always light after darkness. Light after darkness. Welcome on, everybody. Welcome back. Yes, I can see your face too. And I'm glad that you're back here. It's another social production. We're doing it on the Friday, November the 17th, 2023. And yes, there is light. Is it right in my eyes? Yes. Can you see my face? Probably. Better than the past few videos because the lighting was still whatevs, dude. Lighting is new environment, new setting, and lighting is a thing apparently. But everybody loves this lighting now. A couple of days, few episodes, everybody was like, yo, this dim lighting vibes on them podcasts. How you get so dim, baby? And I'm like, yo, we be dimming, and then everybody be dipping, and then we dip, and then we dim together, and then when we come back, we light it up a little bit. And that's beautiful. So glad you made it. It's another social production. Thank you for joining me wherever you're joining me from, whether it's your first time or you've been with me from the get-go. Buckle up, buckle down. We're gonna have some fun, keep it loose. Hypothetical Fridays. If you're Canada, if you're the US, if you're repping Mexico, South America, if you are Europe, if you are Africa, if you're repping Africa, if you're repping the Middle East, if you're repping Alaska, New Zealand, wherever you're repping, rep hard, rep fast, rep loose. Papua New Guinea, Austria, the Philippines, Nantucket, Nova Scotia, back to Canada again. That's exactly what it is, wherever you're tuning in from. Thank you for joining me. Where can you find these videos? I'm so glad you asked, you guys and gals out there. You're curious. I love it. Keep watching the videos. Keep talking about it nonstop. Neglect any life responsibilities that are baby. Forget about it. Talk about the show. A wife who's like, oh, I wonder what else we could watch. Introduce the show to her. Watch it together. A mistress. Are you a guma? You're like, oh man, I don't know, Valentine's Day is around the corner. Before you know it, we're still, no, we got a way to go. I don't know. Well, I got ahead of myself. Valentine's Day will come eventually. It's inevitable. It always given. That's the thing. You're like, what do I get my guma? A new subscription to Glad You Made It via YouTube. It's legit for freeze. It's banging every week. Wednesdays and Fridays, and you can follow me on Instagram, subscribe on YouTube for the full-length videos, and you can check out patreon.com/robsadri. And like, what else do I get? Everything all at once, everywhere. And will there be more? Of course, there's always more, and there's plenty for you to check out in the archives. But nonetheless, man, I hope you're all having a grand old time, and it is important if you are dealing with a wife guma situation. That is, how many gumas and how many wives can you juggle all at the same time? These are all questions that one might ask themselves, or friends who are in similar circumstances, or if you've got females who have husbands who have male gumas, mumas. How do you deal with that? A lot of gifts, a lot of time spent, and a lot of discussions to be had, but maybe everybody's getting along together. Maybe you can all grab your wives, grab your husbands and your gumas and your mumas and sit down and watch the show. And everybody's just like, man, we had so much more in common than we originally thought. And look at all these barriers getting broken down. Look at all of us just having wonderful conversations, and never thought I'd see the two of you in the same room, but things are working out fairly well for the time being is what you'll say, or not. I don't know how it's gonna, maybe keep it on the DL, keep maintaining it on the DL. I don't know. I don't advocate anything. I don't condone anything. I don't not advocate anything, and I don't not condone nothing, dude. What am I talking about? Nothing. everything and nothing. That's what we're all about, baby. That's what we're all about. Just having fun. And I hope you're all having fun. I hope your puss has been stretched out. I hope he gave it to you in the morning. That morning loving just... Right there. I hope he did. And I hope she gave it right back. Right there, dude. Ladies and gents. And all the other combinations that consists of giving and taking. Batch to batch. Okay? Right there, dude. Cack to cack. Whatever floats your boat. We are rocking and rolling. And we're gonna have fun. We're gonna talk about a bunch of hypotheticals today. And the first one is, but it could very soon become a reality. So are we perhaps preparing ourselves for what's to come in the future, which is like right over there? Not right now, because right now is the present. Tomorrow's the future, but tomorrow will come, and tomorrow might open up a whole new door. What is this? I didn't even know there was a door here. Thought it was all just windows and fucking, portable glory holes just that I could peek through, or whatever, that you happen to look through. Doors, glory holes, doesn't matter. New openings, essentially. What's out there in the future? Space pimps. That's right. You get a sip of this bad boy right here. Space pimps. That's what I want to talk to you guys and gals about for a few minutes, if we can. Unpack it together. What does it consist of? What is it? It's combining two of our favorite topics, space and pimpin'. So you got space pimps. That's what you get. Because I listens. I know what the people's wants out there. You want space and you want pimpin'. Now, combining the two will give you space pimpin', which is, similar to earth pimpin'. Anybody can be doing it, men's, women's. But in space, it'll be a little bit different. Moving forward, we do need to prepare ourselves. How do you stay fly in space as a pimp? You're a Mac. You're that bottom biatch. How do you hold it down up there in space in style? Cause out there you gotta be. It's hard to grow out a pinky nail in space and just like rep hard as a space pimp, because the astronaut suits that we've had to come up with so that we could go out there and occupy space, they're not so, it's very much, it's not one size fits all. It's more like one style fits all. And you're like, man, but I'm a pimp. I want to go there and pop my collar, just holler at my bitches in space. And I want to be doing it with a little bit of swag. How do I grow out my pinky nail and let them know where it's happening in outer space? This is why I decided to start thinking ahead. I'm like, man, we need to, just when we're designing the spacesuits, the left pinky, perhaps both pinky fingers should be extended a little bit just for room for growth. And also the tip of the astronaut suit, that the tip of the finger of the astronaut suit should be some sort of, you should be able to see through it. It should be visible. I'm thinking some sort of, fluorescent material. If we can work with some sort of see-through, nanobots, whatever you want, just put it on the tip, make it work. So that way, when our pimps are out there in outer space growing out them pinkies, ladies be walking by, fellas also be walking by. They be looking at the pinky, bodysuit normals, pinky grown visible. Why? Because you can see that shit. That's why. So I thought about you, players, playboy, play gal, wagwan. We are here in outer space, so we are just about to have a little bit of fun, and you wanna be swinging there up in them outer space. Yeah, you want to get them gals and open up a little, just a little. Oh, we, just that's what it is. You want to whatevs, dude. You want to whatevs in space. And that's what it is. So you need to think about these things. Also, places where you're going to be, conducting Pimpin. It's going to be, ideally you'd have lowriders. Ideally you have, but again, spaceships not so Pimpin as of, could we get spaceships to work with hydraulics up in space? I have seen, rockets go into space. We are advancing into end, but they seem to just be going in one direct line, linear, which is fine if you're just trying to get to A from B, or from A to B, or from B to C. But Mac Daddy over there and Big Mama over there knows that she wants to get there, but like, just be a little bit bouncy, a little bit fucking, going up and down, a little bit like letting them alien bitches too, like let them know what's up. Ride that shit in a straight linear manner, but also be able to just bounce a little bit. I think that'll get people excited, because right now you're like, oh, I'd go, but I don't see fucking, I don't see dips, I don't see, just a little tilt right there. Tilting in space is, you want to get people excited about because that's what it is, baby. We got to start fucking like thinking ahead, man. And your boys got you. If you're like, man, how do I, open up, where do I open up where do I open up a brothel in space? Where do I open up a place of pleasure for madams and misters and whatnot, and seniors and senoritas, and chicos and chicas, for the lads and the lasses? Where would you, it's open space. So you could, like, if we could work on some sort of like pop-up storefront brothel-esque, maybe IKEA could get involved, maybe Jeff Bezos can get involved, bring in the Amazonian people somehow, bring everybody's efforts together, and somehow if you could just like, we got, again, it's got to have good lighting because it's dark out there. A lot of like, I just want a lot of neon in space just because it's so dark outside, besides the occasional star or the moon or what, but like it's just pure darkness. But then you're tired out there, just like, just think about the everyday working astronaut out there, blue collar working everyday man or woman, and they're tired. They're like, man, I just want to go out there, hang with the players, hang with them hoes, hang with the ladies, hang with the fellas, and knock back a couple of old brewskis and just get litty and have fun in space. Where can I do it? Oh man, it's so dark in here. I wish there was a sign, a clear sign. And then boom, what do you look over there into the, you look into the distance, neon lights flashing, with a lady, an astronaut gear, but then flashing you, which is like, it's fucking neon, astronaut suit on, but then flashing. What do you see? Tits right there underneath astronaut suit, underneath tits. You see that right there? And you gravitate towards it. So you go, again, helping out the pimps, just helping out the players, helping out trying to come up with ideas of how to like incorporate everything that we've got here. Because we gotta like fucking, we gotta start moving ahead, baby. And that's what we do around here. So let me know what you guys and gals, write a comment. Let me know what you like. Would you like some sort of like, would you like some sort of like towel service there? Or because we are in space, it's hard to get in showers. Would you like a shower facility in the, set spot? I don't want to call it we could call it like space brothel. We could call it space, space house of pleasure. Space house of pleasure sounds way better than brothel, dude. I don't like the brothel's but space house of pleasure, I can get behind that. I'm sure you guys and gals can get behind that. We can provide showers there if you like. Yeah, I guess. We will. We got to keep things. Well maintained. And but that's the thing. Yeah, people are gonna be gross. Like it's just gonna be a lot of sweating. It's gonna be a lot of like hours spent in one bodysuit, You're not out there just like, you know, you're not changing clothes in space as often as you change clothes down here. We have the luxury of, you know, living in a place and on planet Earth. We're lucky we get to, you know, walk around, take it a day at a time, but then, you know, change gear. What would like, and how many astro suits do you think we can provide you with? Not that many, dude. Not that many. 1, 2, 3. Like, do they wear the same? They probably do. They probably stink. Astronauts probably smell horrible if you come to think of it. Now, we definitely need, and not to say that you need to be an astronaut to go to space. Later on, it would just become inevitable for everyone to go to space. But that's the thing you need to think about, the smell. My God, if everybody's just wearing the same suit day in, day out, horrendous. Populations are going to start to plummet in space just because everybody's going to be like, oh man, you fucking lift up the lid and it's been like 7 months. Anybody in 7 months of just living in one suit, you lift up the lid just to catch a little bit of fresh air. Next thing you know, people are passing out right around you. It's crazy. But these are the things, maybe little air fresheners for the inside of the visors. Like when you just hang your visor and it's just like closing in, fucking the little trees go up in there, hang kind of like the ones for your cars, but for astro suits, dude. These are all the things, and you're like, man, as a pimp, can I get air fresheners for my astro suit in shape of dice, fuzzy dice that smell nice? Hell yeah, dude, of course you can, because we be out there pimping, and I'm fully, like, whatever you guys and gals out there need to be comfortable in space, macking, pimping, I got you. Drinks, yes, space drinks. Money, collecting money in space. Please, I cannot emphasize this. When somebody's procuring the services and giving cash, make sure you hand over the cash to the client, or the client rather hands you the cash in hand. Make sure you grab it. It's people are still not comfortable using these astronaut suits, and in space, if you let go, if it falls, it will float away. And I've seen this thousands of times, hundreds of thousands of times, where people are exchanging money, anything really, and they don't hand it off to the person properly, and it just floats. So here you go. Let's just say, I'm thinking about the workers, I'm thinking about the gentleman or woman who paid for a service, you know, $300 just floating in space because you forgot to, you know, get a good grip on the paper. Change, please be careful with loose change, because it's so hard to, you're like, how much is it? Like $275.97. Why won't you just round it up to something even? But 97, now you're counting, and it's hard to count with these large gloves, and it's coins, and you want to also leave a tip, so you're counting the tip, and then the tip starts to fly away. It's just, everybody's getting upset. She's got to go see somebody next. You've got an appointment yourself that you're already late for. If we could all just, you know, practice now, grabbing firmly and letting go until, not letting go until you're sure the person you're dealing with has gotten their, you know, compensation. Just because you don't want to be like, I paid, but she didn't get it. I thought she had it, or I thought he had it, or whatever. And it's like, dude, you know we're in space, man. Make sure I have it. Like, we should talk about these things. Again, hundreds of thousands of cases where I've seen money, tools, babies, just babies, because, you know, mom and dad walking in space, here, hold on to the baby for a second, and baby's stupid, and he's like, yeah, I'll grab the baby, and you're not paying attention, you think you grab the baby, next thing you know, oh, I thought you had the baby, no, I thought you had the baby. Baby's where, dude? Fucking Saturn, that's where. It's burning in Saturn. It's going through time and space, and it's hurling through a spinning disc of fire and gases and rocks and sharp cold rocks and diamonds. That baby's shredded. Why? Because you didn't fucking like make sure they're grabbing the other side of the baby. The hand went to the other person, whoever they're with, mom, dad, everybody could be involved. But again, same concept regards to how you keep the pimpin smooth up in space. These are the things that you got to think about, because everybody's like, yeah, we're just going to be pimping down here. Next thing you know, transition to pimping in space. Easy peasy. And it is. It's just the little things. Please think about these things. Let me know what you'd like to see. Getting perms in space. Is it possible? I mean, we do have the technology. Honestly, nothing is out of our reach. We can get you a perm, dude. Will it be visible? Ladies, gents, we are dealing with helmets. I suggest we go, we perm out, dude. You know what I mean? We forget whatever you got working with underneath the helmet. I say we get wigs for the helmets. Just giant wigs for the helmets out there. Just because, like, again, Pimp Daddy, Astro suit, fur coat on top of Astro suit, because it's like, yeah, we're in space and we're all wearing like safe equipment and whatnot, but like I don't want to fucking like walk around and look around, just everybody's looking like the Michelin Man, cool for a couple of weeks, but after we need to, like, who am I talking to? Who is this person? What's at your core? Let me see a little bit of personality. I don't want to just see like, oh man, again, if everybody looks like Michelin, if everybody looks like the Pillsbury Doughboy, who do you know who you're dealing with, dude? Like, it could be a random stranger. You could be running towards them and you're like, oh man, I remember that thing that we did together. And you're like, oh man, I'm sorry. It just looked like my friend over there that, I get it. We all wear the same suit out there. So just to avoid confusion, and again, keep the Pimpin game smooth, baby. Fucking, dealing with, there's so many issues that we could be dealing with in space in terms of just like Pimpin and Pimpin, like straight Pimpin, fucking like hard Pimpin, like, it takes time. We're going to get there together. I don't think it's going to be a one night, like, snap of a finger situation. It's going to take some, we're going to have to adjust our game and whatever, but I believe in us. I believe in us. Sip, sip to the gang. Thank you for joining me again. It is Friday. Oh, a lot of great sounds just when you coffee. So good. I just don't see enough of that, people, because they say be in the moment, be present. A lot of people don't take the, I met this guy one time, he was just telling me how much, like, he's kind of like I don't know what his vibe was like, just like, he was like, I think he was into yoga, I'll say that. I think he was into yoga, like, fucking doing the yogas and like meditating, and he at one point did mention that he'd love to just enjoy food, and like every time he I don't even know why this came up right now. Just like the sounds that I made. I went like, and I just remember that guy, that yoga dude, just telling me how he takes pleasure in food, and type of guy that likes to get high on life. That's what he, just enjoying everything. And I'm just like, yeah, that's fucking. So good. Hope he's doing well wherever he is. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that you've got a lot of issues to deal with out there in the world, and one of them is figuring out what's the best decision. Do I go sleep in the nude, or do I sleep clothed? Sleep in the nude versus sleep clothed. The pros and cons to all of this. In this game of sleeping, if you've been slept, if you slept someone, if you yourself have experienced sleeping, have you out there just been up for like, I don't know, 16 hours, 17 hours, 18 hours, let's say? Are you the type of fella or lady that likes to walk around for 17 to 18 hours a day, and then at the end of the night, are you getting out there and finding yourself laying horizontal on some sort of surface where you like to get comfortable with some random object called a pillow, and maybe you pull a blanket over yourself? So you do what you're telling me right now is you out there have slept. So if and you're like, how do you know, dude? How do you nobody sees me sleep? You're like, lady out there thinking to yourself, how does he know that I'm like up for 17 to 18 hours a day, and then I go and lay flat somewhere for about 6 to 8? How does he know that? I knows that. And guess what? And then you yourself out there could be thinking to yourself, you're like, man, this It's a little secret of mine that I got, that I like to sleep when nobody else is watching. And sometimes I like to do it in the nude. Sometimes I like to do it when I'm wearing clothes. But I can't, for the life of me, figure out which is the best option. Had I had a gun to my head, had I had surgical equipment pointed to my nads, and everything was on the line. If I got the answer right, nads intact. If I didn't get the answer correct, gender assignment surgery. I can't say gender reassignment surgery. I can say gender reassignment surgery, but it should be gender assignment surgery because you already assigned with something. If you're taking something off, adding something in, that, and should be gender assigned, because you already assigned. Gender reassigning means you already, I don't know. Gender, you're changing, baby. You're changing. If you get that's the whole point. Wrong answer, a clippity clip. I don't know what kind of clippity clip this is, but somehow this felt right. Clippity clip. Should have just went like this. This would have been a classic. People would have been like, this would have been a good, easy fucking, everybody could have, man, rock, paper, scissors, millions of years. People would have definitely known what you meant by a clip when you went like this, but instead you chose to go fucking clippity clip clip. Clippity clip. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. Clippity clip, but you could, it doesn't even matter. Clippity clip clip, wrong answer, nads are off. Oh my goodness. And only if you knew the right decision between choosing to sleep in the nude versus wearing clothes, then now you're gonna have a lot to explain to a whole lot of brand new people, or old people, or people that you've known for a long time that are old but they're new because you haven't seen them in a long time, or people that are new but are old because yes, you've just met recently, but they're extremely really old, like 157 years old, so they could be new old people. Point is, they're like, man, I saw you the other day, nads fully intact, now I see you today, nads are missing. What happened to your nuts, son? What happened to your nuts? The other day I saw them floating in the hot tub when we were taking a steam, son. He keeps calling you son, and you're like, why did you have your eyes on my nutsack? And he's just looking out for the community, man, and today it's a whole different ball game now. And you're like, yeah, I got the sole wrong answer in terms of whether the correct answer is, do I sleep in the nude or do I sleep clothed? I got it wrong, and the answer may surprise you. Should you sleep in the nude or sleep clothed, so that you don't go out there and find yourself in peculiar circumstances waking up with missing body parts? Gosh, if I can save one life, even one life, I'll say to myself that you've done a good job, that you made a difference out there. Despite the fact that nobody was in this peculiar circumstance, you made it so that in case it comes up somewhere, because there are literally 8 billion people somewhere in this planet, could be somebody that their life is dependent on this answer. And if I could be of assistance to just one person, sure, it's an odd circumstance, but nevertheless, we said hypothetical Fridays from the get-go, and hypothetically speaking, anything is possible. So here you go, Russian roulette with your fucking nads on the line. What's it gonna be, son? Is it gonna be clothed or nude? What is the correct answer? I'm waiting for you. Right, we didn't get to it yet. So the correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, it would essentially, let's go through our options. If you're sleeping and you've got clothing items on your person, on your persona non grata, on your, okay, grata, muy grata, welcome to the show. That's what we do. We have a lot of fun around here. Clothing items on the person. It would, let's go like seasonally speaking, if we're in winter's time, if it's like chilly outside, if it's fucking snowy, if it's plow time, if it's chow time and then plow time, you fucking maybe sweater, pants, undies, socks. Why not? Because you want to be cozy, you want to be comfortable. That's fucking great. Next, let's say you're making love to a bucket of KFC fucking drumsticks, right? Because it's lonely out there sometimes in this bitch. But also embrace the journeys, because today, whatever, it could be a bucket of KFC drumsticks. Tomorrow could be 2 buckets of KFC's drumsticks, and then the following day after that, it could be 2 empty buckets of KFC drumsticks, but then you get some more, and then now you've got to take out the trash, but you still got another full basket of fucking KFC's drumsticks. Still lonely, doesn't matter though, because guess what? In about a week, or in about a month, or in about 3 months, or in about a year, or perhaps 10 years, maybe you'll go for like a good 10-year stretch of just KFC drumsticks. And then one day, you might meet somebody, and guess what? It's in the middle of winter time, and you're making love. You're making sweet, sweet love, and it's about to fucking go down. You brought it up, so now she brings it down. No, wait, she brought it up, now you bring it. No, wait, it doesn't matter. You're putting it in. Right there, you're putting it in, doing the work, right? And then you go to sleep right after. After she came and after you came, scored city, scored city, scored city, scored city, scored city, doing it, right? Just doing all the classics, jizzing hard. But like each time it'll get softer. Jizzing a lot on the first time in comparison to the second, third, fourth, however many times you happen to jizz that night. But then at the end of the day, at the end of the night I should say, you go sleepy, sleepy. You're little, big spoon, little spoon. Who's the little spoon? Who's the big spoon? You're spooning, dude. You're doing cutlery at the end of the night. Fucking doing cutlery. Fucking just like you're ready to be taken and used as cutlery. Because you're like, I'm big spoon, morphing to big spoon. You just fucking morph into you're ready. But at least you got your clothes on. Guess what? It is 1:37 in the a.m. Kick through the door. Everybody calm down. Nobody gets hurt, man. We're here and this is a stick up. It's a stick up. And that's the thing. That's when you realize it is best to be clothed when sleeping, because you never know. At 1:37 in the a.m. when somebody goes, all right there. Nobody gets hurt. This is a stick up. You already, guess what, man? One step ahead in the game because you got your clothes on, man. Because you got your clothes on, man. Because I got you, homie. Because when you're out there in the winter times, and let's say there's a stick-up situation, you want to be clothed, son. Unless you'd like to make the argument that you perform better in the nude in high anxiety, high adrenaline pumping circumstances. You're like, no, doggy, I actually want my clothes off. There's an argument to be made there as well. And you know what? Just for the sake of keeping things the way we've already gone, in this direction, so let us not fucking skirt to the other side of the conversation, because that could I could see how you can make an argument there as well. But nonetheless, let us enjoy the fact that you are now clothed and ready to fucking take on the intruders, dude. Take out the intruders. Fucking let's go. And you start vibrating like a fork or a spoon, dude. Because you decided that was a choice you made 2 hours ago, son. And that evening you decided to be small spoon. How fucking embarrassing. Stick up, small spoon. How embarrassing. But at least you're close, so you're welcome. Let's say you're sleeping. Let's say it's just a good evening of lovemaking. You've had dinner. Love has been made. You're asleep. But guess what? Electrical wires going fucking loose, dude. Because there's a system malfunction. Heavy rains, wind, chimes. I don't know about that, but nonetheless, heavy winds, rain, wires, exposure to wetness, the elements, spark, little by little. Oh my God, a little fire goes off in the corner of the house. The house is now burning. You wake up 3:37 in the a.m. once again to all the smoke and fire. And your ladies, they're still, now she's little spoon. Look at little spoon. And you're like, oh man, we gotta get out of here. Is it better to be clothed or in the nude? I ask you that question, your honors. I'll let the jury decide on this one. If you can look at yourselves and look in your hearts and look in your face and in the mirror and tell me honestly that you could say here that in this particular scenario, it is best to be in the nude, then I don't even know what we're doing here, man. But okay, you guys actually wanted, okay, so you don't say that though, because that would be wildly insane and irresponsible from you guys. And I believe that these 12 ladies and gents of the jury are fucking good folks. They're best of the best. This jury is the best jury. Not compromised by anything. Morals, fucking good morals. Ethics, yes. Half of them are men, half of them are women, yes. Any bias in their game? No. Do they have jobs? Yes. Do they pay taxes? Yes. Have they ever wrongfully picked out somebody in the lineup because one of them may have thought that they seen the perpetrators of the crime? Did they wrongfully pick somebody out in the lineup once or twice? Maybe, but nonetheless, great morals and ethics and all that stuff. And I believe that the jury will make the right decision. And so you've come to the conclusion, I see, that it is best to be clothed instead of being in the nude. What a coincidence. I'm glad that we're all on the same page here. So there's a good solid case thus far being made for going to bed sleeping with clothes on you, but let us, if we were for a minute, just so we ourselves remain objective, is there anything to be said about sleeping in the nude? Going fully commando, going fully Rangers, going fully balls to the mattress, going fully pubic bone right on the mattress, lady. You're like my fucking clit is rubbing right on the edge of the bed, and I feel that. Why? Nude. That's why. Is there a benefit to that? Yes. Let's say in the middle of the night you are sleeping. You're sleeping, and then you're like, man, I got the urge to urinate, because now you've noticed that as you have aged, little by little, it is starting to be like, man, I need to get up and perhaps piss in the middle of the night, maybe once. And it's just like, man, if I have to remove clothing items to piss, I am gonna lose too much of my sleeping mood and vibe. Overall, it's just gonna be no, I wanna do this as quickly as possible. In order to achieve this as quickly as possible, if I need to piss, let's say at 4:37 in the AM, do I wanna be clothed or do I wanna be nude? If you want to just like get up and just splash and roll back to bed, splash and roll back without having to, removing clothing items. Sometimes it is way too late. Sometimes you thought you removed clothing items, but guess what? You haven't removed any clothing items, and now you're sitting on the can and you're just pissing, man. All over your pants, all over your underwear, all over the floor. Why? Because you thought in the hazy dream wake state of existence that yes, indeed you did remove your clothes, but it's just been a repetitive pattern that you've been repeating for years now, and you're like, of course I took off my clothes, of course, who wouldn't? And you'd surprise yourself after all these years of going in day out, day in, day out. It could happen to anybody. You thought you removed it, but now there's a whole mess. Guess what? Half an hour, 45 minutes spent probably taking that off, maybe having to take a shower, maybe cleaning up the floor. Oh, what a mess. My goodness. How's tomorrow gonna turn out? You know you had a big day tomorrow and you had to get a good night's sleep. Only if you would have thought ahead. Is there a case to be made for sleeping in the nude? I think this demonstrates that exactly, if anybody is wondering as to what decision they should make in regards to sleeping in the nude or sleeping clothed, this argument brings up a good solid case for sleeping in the nude, because my goodness, how many fellow family members, how many loved ones, how many friends, how many acquaintances have we met through life that have ended up on the streets for the simple mistake of going to bed wearing clothing items and ruining their next day and having everything spiral from one little teeny tiny mistake to them ending up being late to their job interview, to them not being able to land the said job, to them going back home in the evening after having spent a full day outside pretending that they've been looking for other work, but now have to go back to their wife or husband and explain that indeed they did not get the job, and sure, there will be other opportunities, but this ship has now sailed. And it's just like, again, it's so easy to see how things could spiral. Relationships falling apart, families torn to pieces, children left without fathers, mothers. These kids don't have any. It's crazy out there, and all of this could have been avoided had you just made the simple decision to fucking be like, I see this situation, and walk one indeed. Walk one, baby. Nude it is. That's what's up. So, and again, the argument for the sake of somebody breaking in, you're like, do I rather be naked or do I rather be nude? Yo, somebody breaks in and you're in the nudes, you get in fully like, let's do the naked tango, mano a mano, you know, put it down like that, and that might be a whole game. It's probably best if somebody is doing that B&E, it's probably best to be clothed, but then I don't know your game, you might be one of the, you know, you might be in the 1%, you might be like the top fucking 99th percentile, as they say. I don't know why they say that. Just say top 1%, 99 percentile. Fucking weirdos, because it's like the 99 percentile doesn't matter. You're in the top one, whatever. Like you're on the top of the fucking. That you're a weird category of your own. That for some reason, when elements are up there and the risks are high, you perform really well in the nude. What can I say? Congrats. It's a decision that you have to make. But you're like, I still don't know which one's the right answer. What if I'm caught in a circumstance where my nods are on the line, and your nads might be on the line, and you're like, what if I have to get gender assignment surgery if I get the answer incorrect? And here's the trick, son. Here's the trick, fam. Here's the trick. There is no right or wrong answer. What? Hypothetical Fridays, baby. Have fun with that one. The right answer is dependent on you. There is no right or wrong. There is no, you know, a lot of times there are right and wrongs, but in this particular scenario, in this particular case, no right or wrongs. Just fucking go with your guts. Let me know how it makes you feel. Sleeping in the nude, though, I have heard that it has a benefit of building up an immune system. I heard that very early, relatively early in life from we had a gym teacher at one point, or I don't remember the conversation of how it got brought up, but at one point or another, he did mention that sleeping in the nude would, you know, he said that he leaves the bedroom window open and sleeps in the nude because that builds a strength for the immune system. And now that I'm kind of looking back at this conversation, I'm like, man, that is a peculiar conversation to be. But then again, he was dropping facts. Nothing, you know, overall good guy, but it is peculiar to have that conversation as a gym teacher and be like, you know what really builds up your strength, son? And you're like fucking just, you know, fucking 12 years old, like, push-ups? No, sleeping in the nude. I don't know. Maybe if you like get that built in from a young age, then you don't need to worry about the immune system or something. I don't even know, dude. I'm just thinking about it right now. But overall, I guess, you know, no harm, no foul. And at the end of the day, it was a good message. There was some truth in that, I think. I actually have not looked into it, but I would assume, yes, it's the similar concept of exposing yourself to extreme heat or cold, right? So yes, I would assume if you're sleeping naked and not wearing much clothing, that your body's fucking kind of working out when you're asleep, dude. Essentially, this man was ahead of his time. Visionary, you could say. He was trying to fucking put out the word that you could be sleeping in the nude and kind of like working out, not working out, but like your muscles aren't fully relaxed, dude. And then when it comes to sleeping, you know that you don't want your muscles to be fully relaxed, because if they're fully relaxed, then you're having a good old time, dude. You're getting them REMs, you're getting them you're getting the REM sleep, you're getting the RPMs, dude. You're getting all of it. Fucking acronym city up in this bitch when you're sleeping. It's snooze fest for you. Let's go. Count them sheeps. in the nude, fall asleep, stay hard, stay dripping. That's what I say. Sip to the gang. Love you guys and gals out there, whatever you're doing. It is Friday. I hope you have a wonderful start to your weekends out there. Oh man, boys and girls, we did cover a good chunk of material, and I'd like us to move forward. And I feel like now is the time to move forward. I feel like we've covered space pimping and also fucking, you know, sleeping in the nude or sleeping in clothing. You know, I think we covered those two topics fairly well in depth, which is what we're doing now, going more in depth. But now I'd like to switch gears. I like to go skirt if we can, if we may. Just go into little fun stories, and let me, you know, this is something that came up that happened to me that might be relatable to you out there. You know, I'm just out there on them streets doing my thing, out there about to have a cig, and I whip out my lighter and I'm about to spark up a cig. I'm doing my thing, standing on the corner of the street, having a drag, and this beautiful gentleman approaches me and asks me for a cig, and I had one on me, so I offered him a cig. But then it's just a little thing that I'd like to get off my, it's nothing, you know, I like to just, you know, public service announcement, if it could just be, you know, just like, you know, us just being brothers and sisters, distant cousins, fucking relatives, but like non-ancestral, but also like tight, like a gang, like a syndicate, like a group. So if somebody, here's the thing, this is my personal rule. Unless we're like, you know, unless we're tight, unless I knows you or unless you knows me, different story. But overall, generally speaking, if somebody comes and asks you for a cig, cool. If you have it, you give it. If you don't, that's cool too, whatever. But my issue is with the lighting situation, when they ask for the light, I like to, rule of thumb for me, I like to light the cigarette for you using I have the light. If I have the lighter on me, I'll grab the light and I'll light it up for you in my hands. I don't hand the lighter over to just because it's for different reasons. And it depends on the individual. If it's like a really windy situation where I'm like, this is not going, maybe hopefully you'll have your own lighter. If I have to give it to you, I'll give it to you. But my preference, if I'm lighting somebody's cigarettes, I like to do it and then bounce, you know? So just like, let me light it and then I'll bounce. That's the whole thing. But, you know, because sometimes like, you know, just it could be a normal, not to say this is, man, okay, it's an average person, just, you know, not to say that they're, man, it's okay. Everybody's average, everybody's special, everybody's, okay. You know, a well-dressed gentleman or a lady comes up to you and asks you for a cigarette, no problem, you hand him a cig, you know, lighter situation, again, flexible, you can light up for them or give them this lighter. But if, let's say a fellow or a lady, my heart goes out, let's say they're not in the best situation in life, you know? And, you know, you try to be like, oh man, that's, you know, you try to fucking, because, you know, it's, you know, shoes, something about shoes being in the other person's, something about just all of us being human. So you're like, no judgment there, but you see a person who's clearly just been struggling, you know what I mean? And they're not as clean as you or just the average person. They're a little bit more, you know, they've been exposed to the elements. They're good people. I'm just trying to say that you can see the elements of life on their fingers, on their face, on their, like, it's just, and they're right there. And fully, you know, full-blown elements, just layers of elements and exposure to life, and your heart goes out, but you're out there. And so as a rule of thumb, if somebody's been living that life for quite a bit of time, for however long, it doesn't matter, no judgment, but then you offer the light because sometimes people fall into circumstances and you see them walking up and down, and your heart goes out. but if if I have to, like, if I'm not quite sure as to whether or not you've, like, are those pants saggy because they're like, they're they're the latest trend in fashion? Are they saggy in the back? Are they droopy in the back and hanging awful low? And are you going for a vibe? Because, like, are you going for like a, is this like steampunk meets fucking, like, post apocalyptic dystopia fucking, Euro doomer vibes? Are we doing like, is the back saggy because there might be loose fecal matter weighing it down and the hands come up to grab the lighter? So you're like, no, let me do the lighting. I'm just saying, because everybody these days has access to the internet's a phone. You see people in every circumstance living and whipping out a phone. So hopefully this could potentially reach millions and help everybody just, be comfortable in each other's space and together share a space. So if somebody approaches you with the droopy situation in the back and the hands are a little bit, so that's when I prefer to let me light it up for you. That's just me. God. Because they want to grab the lighter and the hands, and it's a lot of soot, a lot of life elements. And again, your heart goes out, but you're like, I'd like my lighter to be, I don't have access to hand sanitizer. I don't want to use hand sanitizer. I don't want to have to ask you to use a hand sanitizer. It's not a big deal. At the end of the day, it's not a big deal, dude. Who cares about fecal matter on somebody else's hands? Man, the point is that you'd like to, and that's the thing. You go to light up, and here's the thing I need from the other individual, and this again, whether or not dependent, it doesn't matter. Whatever average person anywhere on the spectrum of life, on the many spectrums of life that you happen to be going through, it doesn't matter. When I go like this, and I've already got two hands going, because one is lighting, the other one is protecting the flame. One is lighting, the other one is protecting the flame. I don't need your hands to now come over my hands, because now it's like too many. Just I got this for you. Let's put that cig in your, let's just hang it right there in the corner of your sweet little mouth right there, sir, madam, and I'll light it up for you. Hand lighting, the other one covering the flame, not letting the elements blow out the flame. And then sometimes people like to go hands, let me get more hands on top of the flame so that the flame, this is, we're not fucking doing underwater, heavy duty welding, and I don't need, like, this is a one-man job. This is, easily one person can light up a cig. No way. But then the hands go on top. And in this particular situation, the same hands that were, cleanliness levels were questionable, so now instead of the hand that was, questionable in cleanliness, instead of it having grabbed the lighter and lit the cigarette by themselves, now their hand is touching your hand, the palm of their hand is touching your hand, because they want to get in there and make sure that the light is not being blown out by the wind or whatnot. So now you're just like, and it's all good, no big deal, dude. You'll go and wash your hands at the end of the day. It's not a big deal. But it's just like, if we could just, in terms of you ask for something and I can be of assistance, let me get you, homeboy. Let me get you, player, lady, wherever it is. You know what I mean? You don't need to, there doesn't need to be, it's just, having said that, because this also, and another issue that I have with, handing the lighter over, this doesn't really happen in, like, just like running into people and like, oh, they asked for a lighter. They don't end up with your lighter, but there have been circumstances, and I'm sure I'd like to also raise another public service announcement, that if you happen to ask for somebody's lighter and for some odd reason it ends up with you, I think this is when you ask for somebody's lighter and the lighter somehow magically ends up with you, you're now opening yourself up to, I think it's fair game if you juke somebody's lighter by accident, or on accident by purpose, or whatever the cause may be. It's just one of those things, dude. It's just one of those things. Not a big deal. But I think that's when you open, if you do that, I think you open yourself up to potentially just like, you know, should, if you do that, if you're that type of person that does that on a conscious or subconscious level, you go out there juking lighters throughout the day. Should a giant piano be hoisted up on a crane and be lifted 10 stories high to a new apartment building in the city? Should there be an accident where the piano drops from 10 floors down and you happen to be under it? I'm not saying that those are equal exchanges of, you took the lighter, now piano on your head. I mean, or, you take a lighter, you open yourself up to that, should there be, banana peels on the ground, mad banana peels on your way to work, and you should slip and fall and just shoot out a disc, dude. Just shoot out a disc. Am I gonna be like, oh no, I'm not gonna be like overtly like pleased with the fact that you had a piano drop on you and now you're flattened out on the pavement and it's a whole sitch and everything is like deformed except your hand that's holding the lighter, my lighter or somebody else's lighter out there, or the fact that you happen to just be walking by on a regular city street and you happen to be surrounded by banana peels in one particular area, and it's just like concentrated banana peels, and it's just and you happen to slip and a fucking disc goes flying out, dude. I'm not gonna be, I think that's fair to say that not for nothing, but like, it's just all I'm saying is like, if you take it, you give it. If you take it, you give it back. You know what I mean? Unless it really happened by accident. And this hasn't happened in a long time, but the whole situation with the hand and the lighter just like fucking reignited all my like lighter stuff. I'm like, man, lighters. We need to just, and it's just about like learning together, and we're all growing, sharing experiences. This isn't about a lighter. This is about trust. This is about letting go. And it's about the fucking lighter. It's about the lighter. I did try to like, it's about the lighter. It's nothing big. It's just one of those things where you're like, man, if you know what I mean? Or has this all been, or maybe I couldn't care less about the lighter, dude. Maybe this is all nothing but it's not a big deal. Like, don't, you know what I mean? Like, don't take it unless you want to open yourself up to fucking the works. Don't take the lighter. Or is this all just for show? Or maybe I don't even care about the lighter, dude. Maybe I'm the loosest with the light. Maybe I'm one of the types of fellas out there that gives a lighter and wishes you take it away. Take away the lighter. Maybe that's how big my heart is with the lighters. I'm just giving away lighters. Lighter for this guy. Lighter for that guy. You don't even smoke? Lighter anyway. I give lighters away, fam. Maybe that's the type of fella that I am. Maybe I give a lighter and I also just whip out a little wish, abundance, prosperity, peace, and love for this guy or this lady and him and his family and her and her family. And then I walk away. Or am I that fella? Or you tell me. Don't take away the lighter is all I'm trying to say, okay? If it's an accident, I can understand, but seriously, I myself am I'm divided on this. I could go either way. If it happens and it happens to be a nice color, because it's like, oh man, you got my red lighter, dude. You got my red lighter. And you're like, you can buy another red lighter any day of the week. But like, you're like, it's about principle or something. Or again, I could be the loosest with the lighters and this could all just be material. Or is it? It's either or. There are no right or wrong answers here. There's only figuring out. There's only stepping through the jungle of life and going like, oh man, what is that over there? And learning something. And then getting, smacked in the face with like a tree branch. And you're like, man, that hurt. And good to know that tree branch is there. And then you continue to walk on your journey. And then you find yourself in the jungle. And it's very dense. So whack! Another branch in your face, and you're like, my goodness, I should have known, but how could you? Because it's a jungle and there are many branches out there, and just because you've been hit in the face with a branch once, it probably will happen again. But that's the beauty of it. Next thing you know, it's less dense, and you know what? Python coming out your neck, dude. Just you're wearing a turtleneck because you thought pythons don't get in turtlenecks, and you're like, oh, keep the turtleneck so that it doesn't get in. Python right there, tucked in, just melting, because python venom can be deadly. But that's life. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, where can you find these videos? Every week on Wednesdays and Fridays, they're dropped. I want you to tell your family and friends. I want you to remind yourself. As a matter of fact, you don't need to remind yourself. Simply subscribe on YouTube for the full-length videos. That way you get the reminders, and there's, again, a whole bunch of videos for you to check out. There will always be more. We're never going to stop. Nothing can hold us down. Nothing will lift us up. No, wait. Nothing can... Together we will rise. Nothing can hold us back. Unless you're wearing like custom-made clothing with Velcro and an attachment to the back, and maybe like a hook or like a slingy, and you walk forward and the slingy has got built-in resistance rubber bands attached to the other side, and it pulls you back. So nothing can pull us back unless you're in that particular situation. Nothing can pull us back unless we are cruising on wheelchairs and it is up a steep hill, and then gravity at one point or another will pull us back. But aside those two circumstances, nothing will pull us back, nothing will put us down, unless we take a flight and we happen to be in an airplane and the airplane inevitably lands and puts us down. Unless we enter an elevator on a 47th floor of a high-rise building downtown somewhere in some major city around the world, and that elevator happens to go all the way down to ground level, then the elevator has put us down. But aside from those circumstances, everything will in fact lift us up together. As if to say, we're basically, this balloon is rising. The bubble is blowing. We're blowing bubbles. We are getting bigger. We're getting erect. We're staying firm. We're standing our ground. We're standing on ground. Both are correct. It is our plural ground, and we're standing on it. And we will only go higher. You're like, how high will he go? Pretty fucking high. Whatever you thought was high, 10x it. Nay, 100x that level of highness, and we will get higher. And then good things will continue to happen for you, for me, for all the humans that live on this little blue planet just floating in midair. I hope you have a fantastic fucking weekend out there. Whatever you're doing out there, go fucking get it. I love you all. Check out the videos. Once again, where can you find them? On Instagram. Follow me there. Check out patreon.com/RobSadri if you'd like to fiscally support the show. But the best thing you can do to help your boy, because once again, this is just a one-man operation, looking to grow, looking to do work with who knows what and who knows where, one step at a time. But if you want to support your boy, the best way you can do it is for free. And it's just by subscribing on YouTube and helping those numbers little by little, but also fucking quickly as possible. in an instant, 8 billion people went online and subscribed. Crazy. What? 8 billion people subscribed all at once. 8 billion people subscribed all at once. Insane. All on their own, simultaneously around the world. How did they do it? I leave it up to you. Love you all. See you guys and gals back here again next week. Have fun out there and be good to yourselves. Peace out.